Hello everyone, Tom with Capo Fetish. Let's talk about some superb live folk recordings. I'm going to start off here with just an absolute killer album from 1995 by guitarist extraordinaire Leo Codkkey. This is Leo Codkkey live at the Fox Theater in Boulder, Colorado, recorded in April 1995. And this is an absolutely incredible album. First of all, the guy is just like a seventh wonder of the world on the guitar. The guy can play any style and play it so ridiculously well. But in this particular set, we've got about 15 tracks. He does an incredible cover of Little Martha by Duane Allman. He tackles the Platters hit, Twilight Time. A lot of his originals are on here too, and he has a very, very dry sense of humor in between the songs. So it almost kind of doubles as like just a musical album with a little touch of comedy in between the numbers. His voice is very deep and very dry, and his humor is very dry. It's very, very entertaining. It sounds like he's right in the living room with you. And some of these tracks, like The Room at the Top of the Stairs, is really interesting, and Jack Gets Up, and Roy Autry. But it's just an absolute pleasant experience to listen to, especially on the headphones, or just in your living room cranked up to 11. So Leo Codkkey live, 1995, at the Fox Theater in Boulder, Colorado. A must if you are a Leo Codkkey fan or a John Fahey fan and you just love that just guitar virtuosity going on. Good stuff here. Another one from 71, really another real engaging live folk album is Real Live John Sebastian, Cheapo Productions. This really shows the charisma of John Sebastian live. He tackles a lot of Lovin' Spoonful tracks on here and some solo tracks. This was released from Reprise in 1971. You've got Lovin' Spoonful tracks on here like Lovin' You, Fishin' Blues, Younger Girl, Did You Ever Have to Make Up Your Mind? He does Nashville Cats live. He even does Amy's theme, which was an instrumental off the You're a Big Boy Now soundtrack. I love that. He does Darling Be Home Soon, Younger Generation, My Gal. I mean, 3/4 of the songs are Lovin' Spoonful tracks, played with just electric guitar only. So he was kind of doing this stuff before guys like Billy Bragg was doing like the folk, kind of the folk thing with the electric guitar. Other great tracks on here, Waiting for a Train, Irene, Blue Suede Shoes, and The Still of the Night. Really, really engaging live recording here from John Sebastian. I saw John Sebastian about 10 years ago at a local club called the Canyon Club in Agoura. Just an incredible show. Really, really humble guy. We talked a little about, I went up to him after the show and asked him about Woodstock. He said it was just an amazing experience playing that show. So this was produced by Paul Rothchild, who of course produced many albums like The Doors. And if you've ever heard this and you're a big Lovin' Spoonful fan or John Sebastian fan, highly recommend this album. Real Live John Sebastian, Cheapo Productions presents from 1971. Speaking of 1970 and the early 70s, here's another just absolutely fantastic live performance from Leonard Cohen. Live at the Isle of Wight in 1970. This is a DVD plus CD package. So you've got the audio and you've got the most of the video of the show. And when watching the show, you just kind of see the audience. I mean, they've already experienced just a lot of heavyweight acts, The Who, Doors, and then on comes Leonard Cohen just hushing the crowd into just stillness. And supposedly before he went on, I think he was either on acid or mescaline or something, but he sounds very subdued. But it's very, very kind of has this kind of surreal kind of vibe. I love the backup vocals, the female backup vocals he always employs in his live setting and on record. Just an amazing set of songs. Bird on the Wire, So Long Marianne, You Know Who I Am, which is one of my favorite tracks off Songs from a Room. Lady Midnight, One of Us Cannot Be Wrong, one of my absolute all-time favorite Leonard Cohen tracks from his debut. Tonight Will Be Fine, Hey That's No Way to Say Goodbye, Suzanne, Sing Another Song Boys, which would appear on Songs of Love and Hate a year later. The Partisan, Famous Blue Raincoat, Seems So Long Ago, Nancy. This is a stellar live performance from Leonard from 1970 at the Isle of Wight. And highly recommend this if you're into Leonard Cohen and just great live folk music. Speaking of another just like kind of landmark live performance, Bob Dylan, the Bootleg Series, Volume 6, Bob Dylan live in '64 at the Philharmonic Hall in New York City on October 31st, Halloween. This is captures Dylan right in between his topical phase, when he was transitioning from topical songs into that stream of conscious phase, which he would start heavily with Bringing It All Back Home. But right here, he's kind of promoting another side of Bob Dylan. So he's kind of going through that little change there of writing styles. We've got Joan Baez joining him on a few tunes here. Mama, You've Been on My Mind, Silver Dagger, With God on Our Side, It Ain't Me, Babe. But I think the first disc is really, really cool. Showing some of the kind of his past work and his up-to-date work, stuff like I Don't Believe You, Mr. Tambourine Man, old classics, old after a year and a half. Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, because it does To Ramona, Gates of Eden, just really, really, really just clear sounding, amazing recording from 1964 here. So just another really fantastic live folk album, Bob Dylan Live 64. This is the Bootleg Series Volume 6, and it's a double disc. So another good one there. Now, a while back, I've mentioned this box set a few times. This is a really cool box set from Joanie Mitchell. It's the Archives Volume 3, The Asylum Years, from 72 to 75. Now, in this box set, there's five discs of demos, live recordings, rough drafts, but on disc 1 and 2 there is this absolute killer live Joanie Mitchell concert, live at the Carnegie Hall, February 23rd, 72. It starts on disc 1 with just this amazing set list here. She starts off with This Flight Tonight, and she starts promoting stuff from For the Roses, like Electricity, Lesson in Survival, You Turn Me On, I'm a Radio. And then it continues with the second disc and ends with Both Sides Now, My Old Man, Circle Game. So this box set is worth getting just for these live recordings alone from 72. So highly recommend getting this box set for the live stuff, the archival stuff, the demo stuff. This is Joanie Mitchell's Archives Volume 3, The Asylum Years from 73 through 75. And here are the 2 discs featuring the Carnegie Hall show from 72. So good. And Joanie Mitchell was really at a peak right here as far as her folk period before she moved into jazz. Another great one I picked up a few months ago that I've been spinning a lot. If you've watched this channel, you know I'm kind of a huge Tim Harden fan. And this is Tim Harden 3 live in concert. He has this really cool band backing him up. This was recorded in 1968. April 10th, 68 at Town Hall in New York City. Just an amazing array of tracks here. Really great band backing him up. Don't Make Promises, If I Were a Carpenter, Red Balloon, tribute to Hank Williams, Reason to Believe, Misty Roses, Lenny's Tune, just really, really, really good. And considering that he was struggling with drug addiction, he really pulled it off here. Unlike shows like Woodstock, where it was kind of obvious he was kind of declining, here he's in really, really top form with a stellar band behind him. So Tim Harden 3, live in concert, another really fine live folk album. Another one here too, Judy Sills, I've mentioned her many times. Asylum, or Rhino, should I say, Rhino Asylum, put this 2-disc CD out, and really has channeled a lot of interest in Judy Sills. Came out about 10 years ago or so. This features her first debut album and her second album, Heart Food. But the highlight on disc 1 is there is about 7 songs she performs live in 71, opening for David Crosby and Graham Nash in, I believe, in Boston. And it's on the second disc, starting from track 16 all the way from 24, right here. Let's see, right here. And you've got to hear this to believe it. I mean, she just sounds incredible, just her and the acoustic guitar. She's mainly playing stuff from her first album, her debut, So you've got Lady O, Enchanted Sky Machines, Crayon Angels, The Lamb Ran Away with the Crown, and Jesus Was the Crossmaker. And by the end of the set, you could tell the audience is really like digging it. You know, it takes them a little while to warm up, but by the end of the set, they are digging Judy Sills, and it's just really an incredible example of Judy Sills' talent on the stage, live on stage. So just if you really want something that you get a lot of bang for your buck, you get the first the only two Judy Sills albums released on Asylum, plus you get almost an entire concert at the end of disc 1, and then you've got a bunch of demos on disc 2 from the album Heart Food. So highly recommended. And I think these live recordings have been introduced on different other compilations, but this is probably a cheap way to get it if you're into Judy Sills. So Judy Sills live show from Boston in '71, opening from Graham Nash and David Crosby. Really good stuff on this double disc here, released by Rhino. Another one too here. This features the Latter Day Birds, the Clarence White era, and this is a really fine performance. The Birds at Royal Albert Hall in '71. Incredible sound going on here. A completely different Birds, obviously, from the mid-'60s lineup, but just incredible versions of like Lovers of the Bayou, You Ain't Going Nowhere. Of course, they tackle old classics like Mr. Tambourine Man and Mr. Spaceman, and but it's just really, really highlights the brilliance of Clarence White's playing, that finger picking and slide playing, just incredible stuff here. So probably one of the better Byrds live albums I've heard from this period. The Byrds live at Royal Albert Hall in '71. Good stuff. Another one I picked up a while back is this Simon Garfunkel Live '69. This features various live performances from their '69 tour. I don't think they ever sounded better live. The set list is amazing. Everything from Homeward Bound to At the Zoo to I Am a Rock, Sounds of Silence. There's 17 tracks on here. Really, really cool stuff. So this is another great live folk album released on the Columbia Legacy label. And then last but not least, I've featured this several times, but I must because I think it's one of the best live recordings, folk or otherwise, I've ever heard in my entire life, and that is Neil Young's Live at Massey Hall in '71. Oh my God. The sound on this and the set list, this is Neil Young at his like solo acoustic height, I think. And they had considered releasing this. I think David Briggs or somebody had mentioned to Neil Young about releasing this around the time of Harvest, but was held back for decades, but now available, part of his archival series. And it's just an amazing set. Everything from On the Way Home to I'm a Child, 17 tracks played with just absolute perfection. Some of the songs you can't even hear a pin drop. It's so quiet, and his voice is right up in your face. He sounds like he's literally in the living room with you. So one of the best live recordings I've ever heard, rock, folk, jazz, whatever you want to call it. Highlighting it today on our superb live folk recordings. Neil Young Live at Massey Hall in '71. If you have any more to offer, throw those in the comments section. Live folk albums. As always, thanks for watching. If you dig the content across the channel, press subscribe. It's absolutely free. We'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.